Okay, if you think that gas, oxygen, or cigarette smoke that I exhale is obedient to gravity on the ground because we are allegedly a lot closer to the center of the earth than we are to what they call outer space. Yet, when I exhale cigarette smoke, I exhale cigarette fume and carbon dioxide, it goes up in all directions. So if gravity has any influence on gas to pull it back towards the earth, how'd it get up there? So gravity turns off, gas disperses in all directions and up all the way up to the Kármán line, and then gravity turns on and pulls it back down, and we experience or are told 14.7 psi. That don't make any sense. Okay, gas and oxygen, or Boyle's gas law, Avogadro's gas law, contradict this. Gas disperses in all directions, they even say at high velocities. Okay, I am beginning to question that part too because I don't experience any oxygen or gas hitting me at high velocity. I can feel wind blow by at 5 miles an hour or 10, or during a hurricane, it'll go by 30, 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. But other than that, you don't feel that. So now they're going to tell me the problem here is that Newton's third law, action, reaction, or one substance or body acts on another for action and reaction. So when a fly is in a vacuum and it flaps its wings, which is an action, there is no opposite and equal reaction. Then someone's going to say, well, Newton's law says two bodies. And I will say, there you go. You are taught that a vacuum is nothing, therefore no two bodies. So Newton's laws of motion do not apply in a vacuum. That is debunked because we are taught that the vacuum has nothing. So Newton's laws can't operate there. When the fly in the Earth's atmosphere or in an oxygen-rich environment flaps its wings, that action is successfully acted and an equal and opposite reaction occur, and it gets lift and flies away. Not so in a vacuum. You people really need to try and regain your independent logic. It's been drilled out of you. Now someone wants to tell me that internally a rocket in an infinite vacuum universe, billions of light years across, can do something internally and then use that for thrust. Well, that's ignorant. Imagine this. Imagine if there was a 10-foot balloon with helium in it, shaped like a brick wall, and you tied it to the ground, and then you tried to push yourself off of it. You know what would happen? That's the circumstance is even worse in their infinite vacuum expanding universe, billions of light years across. The rocket itself is one body. It is surrounded by nothing, no medium. It cannot propagate. Sound cannot travel in a vacuum because there's no medium for the sound wave to travel upon. So whatever is attached to the rocket, whether it's externally or internally, still constitutes as the rocket as one body. Anything that comes out of that rocket is still going to be just like the rocket, weightless. It doesn't have anything to brace on. Once it comes into contact with the infinite vacuum universe, billions of light years across, it doesn't have anything to brace on or become fixed to allow something else to push off it. You people, it's up to you if you want to face demonstrable reality and logic. Then you have to realize that you are being lied to. And it is done so not in the interest of truth, but in the interest of money, prestige, power, and tenor. These people do not wake up with your best interest in mind at all. So, oxygenated, I can't stand saying that, oxygenated fuel is moot. It's still attached to the rocket. It's being ejected out by the rocket. And it itself cannot brace on anything to let something else push off it. Why can't you understand that? Something would have to be fixed so that you could brace off it. When I walk, my feet brace off the floor and I can push away as I walk. Why can't you people understand that? Don't give me a car going in a straight line and then turn in an inertia, because that is an example in an oxygen-rich environment. And the tires of the car are in contact with the presence and substance of the street. Okay? That does not exist per these people in the infinite vacuum universe. They say it's nothing. Okay, so a rocket would not be able to go anywhere in an infinite vacuum universe billions of light years across. I mean, it would be weightless, and whatever came out of it would suffer the same fatality. There is nothing to push off of, nothing to brace on, to push against. So you think if a fly in a vacuum flapping its wings can't fly because there's no medium or air to push off, if it had little valves under its wings pushing out air, you think it could fly? With a little area of air under its wing? You think about that. That is illogical and ridiculous. You have to face reality. We see with plain eyesight, your vision does not have to be 20/20, that when gas or oxygen comes into contact with a vacuum, the two cannot have an equilibrium. The one fills the other immediately. All right? And when I say vacuum on Earth, that's just the puny vacuum chamber. Do you know how strong they say the vacuum of outer space is? It's infinite, billions of light years across. 10 to the negative 17 torr vacuum? We can't make anything like that on the Earth. Any gas and oxygen that would come into contact with that would be torn, ripped, sucked, whatever. That gas and oxygen would immediately fill the available volume of an infinite vacuum universe billions of light years across, just like it does on Earth. No laboratory person or thing can show gas, oxygen being able to maintain itself next to a vacuum. It will flow into the vacuum. And we are taught that the Earth, covered in gas, oxygen, trillions of gallons of water, water vapor, on the outside surface, can exist in harmony within and surrounded by an infinite vacuum universe billions of light years across. That is a lie. That is not true. It is not demonstrable. The only way gas and oxygen can exist with a vacuum anywhere near it as if there is a barrier or something to separate the two. Otherwise, the gas and oxygen will immediately fill the vacuum. That is fact. It is demonstrable. You are being lied to. And the only reason you believe this garbage is because you instantaneously believe and trust these people. You are not thinking things through. You are not scrutinizing anything. You are only and instantaneously believing it. They are mocking you for power, esteem, money, and tenor. They do not care about you. You are crazy if you even think that. I'm not going to sit here and believe their lies because he has 5 diplomas above his desk with little golden ribbons at the bottom and a beautiful white shiny lab coat on. No, that doesn't make any sense. That cannot be our reality. That doesn't mean I don't like watching science fiction movies of X-wing fighters whizzing through the vacuum of space with. They show fire coming out of the fuselage of the X-wing and it goes forward and does all this stuff. In reality, that would not happen. They show a Star Destroyer when it gets hit that it sinks down. And it's supposed to be weightless in outer space. How are you going to get any forward momentum pushing off of nothing and your vessel is weightless? How are you going to do that? You can't. It doesn't matter what kind of fuel you're using. The infinite vacuum universe, billions of years across, would laugh. It would not entertain that. It is impossible. We are lied to. And the sooner you realize that, the better you will be in realizing a demonstrable truth. Well, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what the earth looks like. I've never seen it in its entirety. But I can tell you what it isn't. I can tell you what cannot be demonstrated. 25,000 miles of curvature in circumference, that can't be demonstrated. Water in mass, i.e. large bodies of water, cannot be demonstrated to curve on their surface in any open body of water. So water in a cup, a pail, a pond, a swimming pool is always level on its surface, but for some reason you think in vastly larger quantities it can somehow accomplish a curve on its surface. Run your hands through water and see how unstable. It's not malleable like clay. It's not going to form a giant circle around the earth in all directions. That is ignorant. We use water to demonstrate level in levels. The horizon is horizontal. In rises to eye level. So what I do know is that we don't live on the outside surface of a giant ball. That is ridiculous. Well, yeah, I grow weary of this because all the debates and discussions are comprised of this. 2 people, one using their own personal logic that they can understand and verify, and the other person is strictly plagiarizing Wikipedia, Google, this Britannica or that one, and they're just regurgitating things they instantaneously believe, having no real personal knowledge of any of it.